I'll do it. Guys, welcome back to Mission 10
Yo,
Shield
yo, yo,
World. We're
yo.
still continuing on with the flood theme of this game. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start because Unchained has beat me to it and made me look bad
I
again.
win. Double time it.
Ugh. Now, the topic that wasn't really, I guess, supposed to be really a topic that I wanted to bring
Can't
up in the
wait.
last mission was about, I guess, relating to hair. Just hair. Like, I've gotten short hair, I've gotten long hair, I've gotten the buzz cut, I've just shaved the head. Now, what I wanted to mention, it was just going to be a random fact. Didn't really have to do anything with gaming. I was just like, Tom, my sister, I think I told you once, maybe twice. I know I told you maybe once a long time ago that my sister was complaining, I want to get my hair dyed, I want to get my hair dyed, blah, blah, blah. Believe it or not, my sister actually got her hair dyed. Now she's only 12. It wasn't the whole hair, it was just like the tips of her hair. She got it
hmm
dyed pink. It looks cool. It looks really cool to the point where it's like, I kind of want to grow out my hair long again just so I can dye the tips. I know it sounds stupid and fruity,
Whoa,
but
that's hardcore.
but it is. It's so hardcore. But now,
Like this
speaking of
cutscene.
hair issues, didn't you have also hair issues back a couple months ago with a certain you wanted to dye your hair to the point where it's like
Oh
it
yeah.
went wrong? I'll let you tell the story.
It's funny
How
when you
how
have
did the
hair.
night transpire?
Well, yeah. It was weird. It was very very weird. I guess I didn't realize that my hair was brown. My facial hair is a mix of black and I guess blondish, and I really wanted to see.
Like dirty blonde.
Sometimes yeah, sort of. And that came from my grandfather. I really wanted to see what my head hair would look like if it was black, like a darker black. So my girlfriend ended up picking up some hair dye. I'm like, whatever, let me do it, because she was gonna dye her hair black, because she had it black for a while. Now it's blondish. I used the black hair dye in my hair, and I was like, oh, this might be a good idea. So I tried it, and apparently, see, I didn't realize this because
Now,
I've
can
never
we keep in
actually.
mind, is your girlfriend a professional at dyeing? I mean, she's already dyed her hair before in the past and she had no problem. But when it came to you, I'm thinking it was a different case because were you using the same kind of material or kind of stuff that she uses, or was it
Pretty
like stuff
much.
for only men? Yeah,
Pretty
there she.
much the same thing. I think it was for women, but essentially it's just for hair. I mean, it really just depends
Right.
on the kit. You don't really need to have too much experience to get any of this stuff in, in
Now,
your hair.
I know when it comes to hair, it's you have to specifically pick your hairstyle. So I'm guessing that's where the confusion came in, where it was you thought you had this exact same hair color as her. You're upgrading to Fortress, I see that.
You know it. But yeah, I went to put hair dye on my head, and I didn't realize you can always go darker, but if you want to go lighter, you need to use bleach. And that is a major, major problem because I had no damn clue what any of that stuff meant. I eventually got my hair dyed nice and black, and I look like a punk guy, like a punk rocker. I look like a
I never got
retard.
to see it. You didn't. You should have at least taken a picture. I wanted
I
to see
have
it,
I
how it would
have
look.
pictures. I can
Do
show
you?
you. Yeah, I could text it to you. It looked retarded, and I ended up bleaching my hair. So basically, my hair because I didn't like it, and I wanted to go back to like the brown, darkish brown that it was, and I ended up bleaching it, and my hair was basically blonde at one point, and then it was orange, and then it went back to the color it was. It's really a process to dye your hair, and I will never do it again. I don't mind dyeing my facial hair because if you screw it up, you can always shave it. But with your
Right.
head hair, it's freaky how
It's just
permanent it
completely
is.
different.
Yeah, like if the people look at you differently, and it's not very pleasant. Yeah, I keep trying to cue the gunner thing before I have the warthogs. Now, what do you recommend we do? I don't want to get too into any particular
Tanks.
topics on this video because I know we are timed and we have to act, and I'm not sure what we're
Yeah.
doing. Cause
I've tried Hornets before on this. I think they worked okay, but tanks, I feel like they work a lot better just because they have the brute force on their side. So I
okay,
necessarily, when it comes to this part, it's you usually can't go through it. You can't just go guns a blazing and then hope that you'll get lucky and make it to that first squad. Because you see on the minimap, we have to save these three guys. In other words, it goes back to these elephants, some Spartans, and some ODSTs, and a Grizzly. That's gonna be fun to control. So I guess that's the hint right there. We need to go tanks because the tanks are going to be the powerhouses, and we'll be able to go through this without losing many units. The Hornets, on the other hand, they're just going to be kind of like wet noodles. It's just going to be weak and worthless. So,
do you think we're
so
gonna
let's
need
get some
turrets up
tank
for this
outs.
one? Will they come after us at all, or how's that gonna
Um,
work?
I don't really remember. If they do, I know it's maybe at a low rate where it won't be as a problem, but we don't need to build turrets just yet at all. We'll do it after. Well, we'll transition into turrets as we're going out there to save the scouts that
Let's get
are
some
kind of
scorpions
left
up.
ahead. Yeah, I want to wait. We don't want to make scorpions just yet. If anything, I'm just gonna go ahead and make at least upgrade to let's see, what is that? Canister shell. So let me save up until I have 1,200 resources. We can get an upgrade, and then we can go ahead and start bumping out these guys, making them all over the place. Hmm. So let me ask you again. I know you said you wouldn't dye your hair again, but if you were to, if like someone forced you to, what color would you pick? Just for fun. It doesn't have to be like practical or anything. It's just for fun. What would you pick?
I probably just have some highlights. I usually don't really
Highlights, right?
do much of my hair. Now I kind of just buzz it ever since I got this particular razor. It's a pretty good razor. You essentially, I bought it for $5. I got it from Walmart. And I was surprised. I thought it was going to be a piece of shit that was going to work like a handful of times and then just crap out on me. But actually, it was pretty decent. And it works very well. And I honestly keep my hair pretty short now, mainly because it's just too much damn effort to like have to comb your hair. In high school, I didn't like to comb my hair, and now that I'm working a real job, I still don't like to comb my hair. It is not fun, not fun at all.
The many benefits of actually having short hair. I actually
Yeah,
just got a comment in the last, not the last video technically. It was in video in Mission 4, where it's like, Felgo, I'm doing another vlog. It's like I should do another vlog. Like,
I haven't
here you
done
go,
one in a
another
while.
vlog.
Actually, I should really should. I haven't really had any situations where I'd be like, oh, this would be a great idea, or I
There's
really
an
would like to
interesting
record
place.
here. I haven't really
One
gone
day
anywhere
it's gonna
special.
happen, even though it probably won't. No, there's a chance. One day in the future, just a vlog where it's just me and you. It's like, oh shoot, this is Unchained. This is Felguam. They're in the same vlog. Mind
I guess I'm
blown.
always nervous to do a vlog in certain locations because not that I'm afraid to be sued, but I'm always afraid that like I'll say
So
something
there's gonna be
stupid or like people will
I
like see it and they'll be like, oh, this is like I don't know, something stupid
or
like
like
that.
they're
Just
there or something.
yeah, like
Are
let's
you
for
making those
example,
gremlins?
yeah, I made one of them. Like for
All right,
example,
just keep
let's
that there.
say I do a vlog like at my food store. Like a lot apparently they have like some companies. I think most big companies have this. They have a team of people that I want to say scour, but I think it's scourge. I think they're looking for a scourge. Basically, they look through the internet and they try to find any traces of their company that's like being put to like a bad name or slander. And they do that
Wow.
because obviously, you can lose a lot of money if people are talking crap about your company. Like if you have a particular blogger that does nothing but talk shit about like Walmart or something,
Right.
people could, very well look at that, and if that goes viral,
Tom,
Walmart could
cancel out the
lose.
tanks real quick. The two tanks.
I You never let me do anything. Fuck
No,
you.
cancel it out. Just cancel it out. I'm trying
Fine,
to get
fuck you.
the
Do everything.
upgrades.
Do everything.
No,
But
you could go ahead and build it later.
yeah, yeah,
All right, but
whatever.
go on with it.
But basically, let's say someone was talking shit about Walmart and then it goes viral. If the people that like, let's say they look around the internet for like Walmart people that are trying to slander, they will totally lose so much money. Because let's say I'm saying Walmart's the shittiest store ever. I found out that there's like roaches in their food or crappy employees work there, or let's say the food it's all like just garbage and out of date. They could lose like
And then
thousands of
that's where they
dollars.
pounce the lawyers. It's like,
Yeah,
all
like
right.
one of my coworkers actually tweeted something about my food
Oh
store.
my.
Yeah, it wasn't anything
Did they
bad.
get
It
in
was
trouble or
literally
anything? No.
no, it was literally something about how like
What if it's just a random person though? They really can't do anything if they're just speaking their mind and have, I guess, some legitimate facts or
they
experiences.
I don't know. All they said was like, oh, this manager is basically just letting me do anything I want. This manager is like crap or something. And then like apparently like the kid
Oh,
actually
well,
got
when it comes to
contacted.
that, then yeah. When it comes to something like that, and you're an employee, I can see how you're getting in trouble. But they really can't. I don't know. Say like McDonald's, they can't really sue me if I said, "Yo, I just went to McDonald's, had some stupid Big Mac, it tasted like crap." What are they gonna do? Like millions, I'm sure millions of people are already saying that. But even though they do, they're still eating it and they're still getting money. It's not like I'm gonna say one little thing and then boom, they lose a lot of business. That's kind of similar back to where Nintendo said, "Oh, there's a lot of people doing Let's Plays on Mario. We just lost a bunch of money, so we're either gonna
Nintendo
sue
hates
or
when
kind
people
of
record
monetize it."
any of their stuff. They're so damn greedy. They do anything they can to make gamers feel like, you know, if you don't like us, then you probably hate everything else. I mean, they are like I think Reggie Fils Aim or whoever the hell it was, he was pretty much describing the console launches of the PS4 and the Xbox One as meh. and that was kind of quoted. Like he just didn't care about it. Like he thought it was like really unimpressive. I mean, truthfully, I think the launch titles are pretty unimpressive for this current generation that's coming up. The new generation. I don't think the games are as good as they could be, but I don't think it's bad by any means. Like Nintendo's one to talk. Like they release one good game every like 4 months, and beyond that, it's like they always have just enough software to get themselves by. And just recently, they announced a Nintendo 2DS. It's essentially a flat version of a 3DS that doesn't fold, and it doesn't have a 3D functionality. And
Yeah,
it's the
one
shittiest
of
thing
my
ever. I
favorite
don't
ones are just
understand.
like, Nintendo, you're drunk, go home.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny comment. I mean, I don't understand what they're trying to do. I don't get it. They're trying to, I guess, incorporate younger audiences into the market of their stuff. But it's like, isn't that the whole reason we had parental controls on the 3DS so that people that were older can keep their kids from
I don't
turning
know
on the
about you.
3D
Does it
feature?
does it feel like E3 is just getting, I guess, littler and littler in the aspect of like giving you that whole wow aspect of like, whoa, I can't believe this E3 was
Uh,
amazing and memorable.
if you mean smaller or bigger based on the actual population, that's to be determined because
Not the
there was a
population,
time.
but like the aspect of like, wow, that E3 is very memorable instead of like, wow,
Oh,
that
okay, because I
E3
was
didn't show anything. What the heck?
okay, because I was gonna say
What was the point?
E3 closed for the public to the public for a while, and then they eventually opened themselves up again to allow people to attend the show, which was great. The E3s are really just, I feel like since the main industries and the companies like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Apple, they get themselves so worked up on the date that they know they need to fire out so much content that they don't, I guess, prepare for it. I personally feel like Microsoft, as an example, in this most recent E3, they weren't prepared at all. They
No, they
clearly could
weren't.
have used a couple more months to really understand what people were looking for in a next gen console.
It sucks
And
too because they're on a deadline as well. E3 isn't
that's what
gonna wait for
that's what I
any
was
of
trying
these
to say.
guys.
I'm not tired. It's just I'm kind of some brain fog tonight. I can't really function normally.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to say. They
we spoke
can't
about
really
that too.
gather. Yeah, they can't gather themselves. They have no clue what they're doing. That's why Microsoft pretty much backpedaled for like 3 or 4 months after E3 because they're like, oh, you guys didn't want any of this cloud shit, and they pretty much made
I
everything
think
that
it was more of
people
like,
wanted.
I think it's more of like, oh wow, it's not working, so I guess we have to go back because everyone's complaining about it. And
And
if
there's
they
nothing wrong
don't,
with correcting mistakes. That's
and
not what I'm saying.
I guess it's in their best interest because they didn't just want to say, oh, we submitted, oh well, we lost. I think it's also because they didn't want negativity towards their console for the next couple months before it was
Well,
actually
they
released.
brought the negativity on themselves. I feel like I feel like that. I don't know who they were marketing it towards. I understand the whole like the cloud information, like the cloud. I can understand why you'd want to incorporate like the cloud in gaming and memory storage and streaming like that. That's convenient, but it's not convenient to tell people that pay for your shit what they can do with their shit, especially when they have to get off their asses and physically buy it from the game stores. And I don't want to
Yeah.
keep referring back to the DRM and stuff because that's just getting old. Like I'm sick of talking about it. Like Microsoft has made so many improvements in the last couple of months, and I'm actually like really, really more excited than ever for this console. But the fact of the matter is, they just weren't prepared at E3, and I think a lot of E3s are very unimpressive. And I think this year was a little bit of a smaller E3. Ironically, I thought this year was going to be way better because they were announcing all these consoles. I thought it was going to be much more impressive. I think what really held this year's E3 back is two main things. One, Nintendo wasn't even there. And they weren't there because they just knew they couldn't compete. They didn't have enough software. They wanted to be on the show floor, but they didn't really have a conference that prepared. Two, Microsoft's conference was just pure balls. As I said, there's nothing different there. It was just bad. And the third thing is, since Sony's conference was such a shutout, it almost made it feel like a one-sided battle, and it just wasn't even fun anymore. It caused so much controversy between like Sony fanboys and Microsoft
And it
fanboys
was
that
hilarious
it
how
wasn't
Nintendo was
fun.
just absent out of all of it.
Yeah, Nintendo wasn't even there. They had this one little thing they made, this video
I guess it
vidoc
was in
that.
their best interest because they would have looked even worse than Microsoft coming
Yeah,
to
it was.
E3 almost empty-handed
Well, the
with
bottom
just
line,
generic, boring, regular stuff.
the
Stuff
Wii U
they've been
would
spewing
be
out for years.
better if it was marketed with just the Pro controller as their main controller. the Wii U Pro controller is nowhere near as accurate as, let's say, the Xbox 360 controller, even. And
Right.
I'm sure it's not going to be anywhere near the Xbox One or the PS4 controllers. But at least it feels like a professionally made first-person shooter controller, and it's got 60 hours plus battery life. It's impressive. It's got a good design. It's lightweight, and it works. It's made well. But the gamepad, I don't understand what the hell they were thinking with it. If you're gonna make a console that relies solely on a controller, you better be able to like have the consumer buy the controllers at a good price and make it durable. The thing is almost feels hollow. I dropped a screwdriver on it a couple weeks back. I don't know if I ever told you this. And it
I
fucking
don't think so.
dented the damn gamepad screen. It literally has like
Oh
a
my.
pen. Yeah, it has like a
How annoyed
ballpoint
were you?
pen-sized ding. I was annoyed. It's got a ballpoint pen-sized ding on the screen, and you know how OCD I am with that shit. I hate when my
Right.
stuff is screwed up. Like I can't do anything about it. I read the warranty information. My thing is still in warranty, and after I registered it, I actually increased the warranty by I think 6 months. But apparently, it doesn't account for like user-created defects. It's not like a purchase warranty. A user warranty is like the gamepad doesn't function, like it doesn't work at all. And it's like, fuck. And if you went to buy a new one, you'd have to do it from either the Nintendo store or eBay. Because retailers do not sell those controllers. So
That
Nintendo is
sucks.
just driving me crazy. Like, just
It's
make
like you
another
actually have to go
controller.
out of your way to buy another console. It's like, oh, it's broken. Well, too bad. Buy another console.
That's right. It's just a giant fucking gimmick box. The Pro controller would have been just fine if it shipped with just the Pro controller. If you look at some of the new games coming up, it's not implemented very well. Like Super Mario 3D World, you touch the gamepad screen to interact with some POW blocks. Like that's stupid. That's like a fun feature. That shouldn't be, a highlight of the game. And with Mario Kart, you can like adjust the controls or something while you're playing. Like I don't know when you'd ever have time to do that. I don't know. They had the right idea, but they didn't build off of the success of the Wii. And I think they realized they made a lot of mistakes. Hence is why they recently lowered the price by $50, and that's why they weren't at E3. So this year's E3 was kind of lame because I really like watching the
It
Nintendo
was.
conferences, even though it's predictable every year. Like that's the thing too. Microsoft and Nintendo are the most predictable companies on the face of the earth. They release similar crap. Like Microsoft is, oh, here's a new
They're
Gears of
pretty
War
much almost
sequel.
as
Here's a
predictable
Halo.
as Call of Duty
Pretty
franchise.
much, pretty much. And Sony, I feel like they tend to throw a couple of new things out. Like I'm not a fanboy, but I have to be honest. Sony does a pretty good job at making me feel like, okay, you guys are giving me some new stuff. Like this is cool. Like I didn't see this coming or whatever. Oh, this is a new IP. But I don't know. E3 just gets worse and worse because I feel like it gets more about gaining the attention of the majority rather than appealing to what gamers actually want. And whether you agree or disagree on that,
I agree
eh,
and disagree at the same
sh-
time.
how do you
By the way,
disagree,
your
Mr.
stuff
Fiddle?
is just annoying. I've been annoyed for like a minute because your stuff has just been stuck in my way.
I know. Well, hang. Let me get it out of the way. Come on, tanks, you pieces of shit. Go back here. The AI
Alright,
also
here we
doesn't know what to do. Or what do we do now that we destroyed all the bases and saved everybody?
go. That's it. We'll just go back. In-game cutscene.
When?
Don't worry, it's part of it. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, this mission wasn't that hard,
Uh,
especially when there was no time and there really wasn't much pressure put on us from the
oh,
enemies.
did you hear her accent? What accent do you think that would be?
Was it Australian?
Like Australian, British, kind of like it's an accent basically. And it's funny too because I remember listening to the commentary for the cutscenes of Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2 because I got the Legendary Edition for Halo 3. And it's funny how they spoke at first. Cortana was supposed to have a British accent, and it's funny that they made in this game the female AI have a British kind of accent. Even if it's not British, it's still an accent because Cortana was supposed to have an accent at first in the Halo series. But no accent for her, but this one gets an accent. Just a little fun fact that's pretty much
That's pretty
useless to
sweet.
everyone, but it's just, there
It's
you
kind of a
go.
random change that they made on that.
Yeah, I like these little acknowledgements of stuff. And look, there goes our stuff getting destroyed.
I
I'm
know.
gonna go
I
ahead
want
and
to drop a
cryo bomb.
I was gonna say drop a cryo. I'm still waiting for mine. I can't do
And
anything
then I'll
right
heal.
now.
This is what you do in multiplayer. You you drop the cryo bomb right in front of them, and then you heal. Just to heal the strays. They can't do anything because they're frozen. It's just getting healed.
Mine's gonna be ready pretty soon.
Yeah, you might want to. Oh, that's actually me that was in the way. Whoops.
I'll drop it as soon as I can. I got like 5 seconds left. Here it comes.
These are like berserkers.
Boom.
Like, roar. What are berserkers again? I know that's from a game. Don't remember from where.
Berserkers. A lot of games have berserkers, honestly, so it's really hard to say.
Berserkers. Or am I thinking of Brute from Saints Row? Like, oh, there goes a Brute.
I mean, it might have been in that game too. I don't know. I really want to play Saints Row 4. I just haven't had a chance to rent it yet.
We should rent it at the same time just so we could just play it.
That would be fun. That would make for a good Let's Play. I mean, we have 2 more months until these consoles come out. And once I get settled at work, I'm really not going to, I guess, get too distracted with that. I mean, honestly, I've been trying to make myself more available, even though I have this, like, 40-hour-week job on top of my food store job. So I work 2 jobs now. And I do it because I'm so sick of feeling broke. Like, I always feel broke. And I really just did it to prove a point. Because a couple of videos ago, I was complaining about how some of our friends, when they get a job and they get a girlfriend, they don't make time for any of their hobbies, and they ignore text messages. They never want anything to do with you. I was supposed to go to Florida to visit my buddy George, right? So
No
basically, you know, my girlfriend is more of, I guess she takes initiative with things, whereas I don't. She's the kind of person, you know, she'll plan things out, calculate gas money, and
Well,
she'll
I
go
think
out and
she's similar to you. You do have like when you say initiative, it's not always to like everything. And she'll take initiative in stuff that she enjoys doing, like taking vacations.
yeah, I mean, I don't like calling off work, and honestly, I don't like driving. I don't like change. I don't like going places unless it's like close by. I don't like. I wouldn't want to drive 10 hours there and back in like a couple of days. It's just too much money. It's no fun. Regardless, the point I'm trying to make is I was trying to plan a trip to go to Georgia, go to Florida to hang out with my buddy George, and I was texting him and I was like, "Oh, is this day gonna work for you? You know, can I come down at this time?" And he's like, I'm probably gonna be in New York that week." And I'm like, "All right, what about next week?" And I gave another set of dates. And keep in mind, I need to call off work. Like, I can't just not show up for work and just go to Florida.
Right.
So basically, I texted him that. He didn't get back to me for like 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, here I am about to drive 10 fucking hours to come hang out. The least you can do is respond quick.
Can we also mention that you haven't responded to his text? He's like, "Oh, Tom,
Yeah,
I know you're seeing
I
this."
have,
You give him
I
like
got
the
him
cold
back.
shoulder. That's his
I
punishment.
got
It's like,
him
how
back.
dare you?
I've won the ignoration Olympics. I have been ignoring the crap out of him for the longest time, and I do it on purpose. Like, okay, I gotta be honest. Sometimes when people text me that I don't really talk to on a daily basis, I don't respond because it's almost like, I don't know, it's like starting a conversation with like a stranger. It's just uncomfortable and awkward. Like if somebody sends me a friend request or sends me like a chat invite on Xbox and it's someone that like I'm not really close with, I'm like usually like, "Oh, I don't really feel
It's
like
like I don't know
talking
what
to
to
this
talk
person."
to, and you sort of like
Yeah,
feel bad and at the same time. It's like, well, I feel like I should say something, but it's like,
you barely won that.
44,000.
You barely won
44,000.
that.
Easy. Look at that. Combat
Barely.
10 times 10. Perfection. They call me Cell
Wonderful.
from Dragon Ball Z.
Right around
Perfect
25
Cell.
minutes.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. That was mission 10.